Hey, what's up? It's Andy from Black Veil Brides, and you're watching Artisan News.
As my soul's laid to rest, what is left of my body? Or am I just a shell? I have fought, and with flesh and blood I commanded an army. Through it all, I have given my heart for a moment of glory. In the end, as you fade into the night, who will tell the story of your life? And who will remember your last goodbye? 'Cause it's the end, and I'm not afraid to die. Born a saint, but with every sin I still wanna be holy. I will live again. Who we are isn't how we live. We are more than our bodies. If I fall, I will rise back up and relive my glory.
We're so excited to come back for Warped Tour. I think that obviously it's such a huge staple and such a part of the life of any sort of alternative or different or rock and roll rebellious kid in America. Growing up, I went to Warped Tour every single year, and I got to see bands like Rancid and AFI and Dropkick Murphys and bands that hugely inspired me. And so for us to be able to be on main stage this year is sort of a dream come true for me. The people at Warped Tour have been so kind to us, and obviously when we played in 2011, things were kind of growing for the band. That was right when we put out our first major label record, and obviously the growth of the band has been large since then, and we're just excited to be back.
And what's your fondest memory of Warped so far? All these times you've performed.
Oh, geez. I don't know. I've got a lot of fun memories. I got to hang out with friends, and I met my girl there, and it's there's a lot of great things about Warped Tour. But more than anything, I think that it's just an opportunity for Black Veil Brides to get to play for our audience, and in a setting that they enjoy. I mean, I think that that's one of the reasons why bands should always do something like this, and if they're given the opportunity, is that this is something that your fans are 100% interested in being at. And if you're too cool for that, then you probably shouldn't have fans.
Is there a secret to surviving the Warp? It's usually a grueling tour, middle of the summer, 5, 6, sometimes maybe 7 nights a week.
Look, dude, Black Veil Brides are tough motherfuckers. So I mean, everybody always talks about how grueling Warped Tour is, but we did Warped Tour in leather pants covered in paint. So and that was before everybody was doing it.
So you actually met your girlfriend on Warp as well?
Yeah, well, we didn't meet on Warped Tour. We met years and years before, but we stopped hating each other and started dating on Warped Tour. We hated each other for a long time based on misinformation, and we decided that we loved each other on Warped Tour. So it's a whole different. Warped Tour brings out emotions, man. We've been together for almost 2 years now.
You guys are going to be touring together, right?
Yeah, she'll be out for a bit, and that'll be awesome. And she was on Wretched and Divine. She sang on a track on there, so it'll be cool to hopefully have her come and sing with us.
And is there going to be any pressure getting out and touring together with you guys?
I don't know. We toured together. We started dating touring together. Like our first dates were walking to each other's buses, or I would go watch her set every day, regardless of how hungover I was. She would play early, and I would just hate my life all the way over to her stage and just sit in the sun and try to bake all the Jack Daniels out of my system. And no, maybe I just won't drink so much this Warped Tour. Then it'll make the experience more enjoyable.
Tell us about the most dedicated fans at the Golden Bottle Awards. What does that mean?
I think that to be nominated for anything at the Golden God Awards is a pretty incredible thing, particularly considering that it's the only real hard rock or heavy metal award show in the United States, and so it's kind of stiff competition to get involved. And we've been fortunate to win an award for the last 2 years. We've been nominated 2 years in a row. We won an award, and if we're lucky enough to win this year, we will we will make history. So, song of the year, amazing, yeah. I think that song is something that it's one of our favorite things we've ever done, and I think it struck a nerve with a lot of people, and people have really dug it in a way that I think sometimes songs that you do, you feel confident about them, but you can never really tell what the public's reaction is going to be until it really gets out there. And in as much as we're not the we're not the kind of band that necessarily makes music to appease an audience, we've always been outspoken in saying that we make our music because we think it's something that is enjoyable to us, and it's our art form, and we hope that it can connect with an audience. And given that we're not pandering, it's always awesome to hear such a positive response from our audience. It's not even necessarily my band. I think every band of our kind of ilk owes a huge debt of gratitude to what he's done and what the tour has done. I think that there's so few. It's the last sort of bastion in a world where rock and roll has become increasingly marginalized. For kids to be able to go and be themselves and to be something that is I guess not accepted in mainstream society or whatever. It's sort of it's a big festival for people that are weirdos, and we are certainly weirdos.
What's your thoughts, man, on how Wretched and Fine has been received?
It's great. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a record that debuts in the top 10. It's and to continue to grow from their top 5, and it's something that we are so appreciative of what our fans have done, and not to harp on it, but this is a band that you wouldn't necessarily see playing on the American Music Awards, and yet we're selling these records and doing these things and playing these venues, and that is because of our fan base. We have been fortunate enough to have such a dedicated fan base that they've beat down the door of the critics for us, and they've made it so regardless of what anyone says about them or about us or whatever else, you can't deny that Black Veil Brides is the kind of band that has a community that we love and they love us. And whether that crashes and burns tomorrow or continues for the next 500 years, I will always be very appreciative that in this moment in my life I got to experience something with a community of people that felt the same way.
Couple more questions.
I have a deep respect for what My Chemical Romance stood for. It wasn't necessarily. I was never a huge fan of their music until later on. I kind of got into their stuff kind of retroactively. When they were kind of at their height, I was a kid who thought he was like super punk rock. I was the kid who, if any bands had any fans, they were not cool for me. I only like bands that only 10 people know about. Okay, and no, so I unfortunately missed the boat. On the kind of, but I couldn't not hear the "I'm Not Okay" in those songs. And I remember just really enjoying it, but not necessarily knowing a lot about the band. And then kind of as we were making this last record, a lot of people were talking about the different kind of things that My Chem had done. And I got very interested in kind of studying all kinds of concept records and listening to Black Parade and listening to the Danger Days. And kind of after we had already kind of delved into making our own concept record, hearing other artists that had similar ideas was very cool and definitely inspirational. I think Gerard Way is, I think he's a rare talent and something that society needs. I think he's a true artist and someone that has been very important to a large number of people. The lyrical content, the musicianship, what he's represented, and having someone that can be a hero. In a world that is so void of rock stars and heroes, having someone that is genuinely something that people can look up to is, to me, the most important thing. And so for that, I have nothing but respect and love My Chemical Romance. And I truly do hope that all of them find something cool to do in their future musical endeavors.
What's next for the band afterwards?
We'll take a nap for a while. That'll be the first one. We've been on tour since the record came out. Since before the record came out, we've been on tour, and there's no real stop. I go to Europe in about 5 days, and then Warped Tour starts right after that, and just keep touring.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you.